Hello, friends, and welcome to Adventures in Pixieland. My name's Amy. I'm an ordained minister. We're in Bible study. We're in the NIV, and we will be through 2025. In 2026, we'll start the KJV. We have several other versions of the Bible, and we will go through those different versions. And then we also do some cross comparison with some languages along the way there. So, in this video, though, we are in Exodus chapter 27, and we are going to do all of chapter 27, which will take us to, it looks like verse 21. So, let's jump in. The altar of burnt offering. Build an altar of acacia wood, 3 cubits high. It is to be square, 5 cubits long, and 5 cubits wide. So, first we have F and then G for both the cubits. So the first one, there we go, that is about 4.5 feet or 1.3 meters high. So that's how high it says stood up off the ground. And then the 5 cubits long and 5 cubits wide, that is about 75 feet. Is that correct? No, am I looking at the right footnote? Yeah, G. No, here we go. That is about 150 feet or about 46 meters. So that's even bigger. Wow. That's pretty big. Make a horn at each of the 4 corners so that the horns and the altar are of one piece. Okay? And overlay the altar with bronze. Okay, make its utensils of bronze. Now, bronze, can hold very high heats and not melt. I have actually. This is called a censer, and it is actually an incense burner. This is made of bronze. It was my grandfather's. I use it every day. Make all its utensils of bronze, its pots to remove the ashes, and its shovels, sprinkling bowls, meat forks, and fire pans. Make a grating for it, a bronze network, and make a bronze ring at each of the 4 corners of the network. So by the network, they literally mean, like a crosshatch, like a net. Like a grill. You would, but not just a grill like you would see on a charcoal grill, but, a crosshatch grill. Put it under the 4 corners. Right, put it under the ledge of the altar. Yeah, here we go. Put it under the edge of the altar so that it is halfway up the altar. Make poles of acacia wood for the altar and overlay them with bronze. The poles are to be inserted into the rings so they will be on 2 sides of the altar when it's carried. Because again, it has to be carried everywhere. Because they're trekking through the desert. So that means it's somebody's job to carry this stuff around. Make the altar hollow. So that's at least a blessing. Out of boards. So an empty box. Covered in bronze. It is to be made just as you were shown on the mountain. The courtyard. Make a courtyard for the tabernacle. The south side shall be 100 cubits. Okay. Oh, I think the 5 cubits is actually, gee, make sure I'm looking at that. There's actually 7, is that right? What happened there? Oh, I see. It says the same either one. So it's not the same dimension. It's not that big, because I'm looking at this next footnote here for the courtyard, and that's got H in it as well, and that is about 150 feet. So it's like, So this book is missing G. It's got footnote of G here and no dimension down there. Okay, so It's 100 cubits long, so that's about 150 feet long, and it's to have curtains of finely twisted linen with 20 pots and 20 bronze bases with silver hooks and bands on the pots. So think of it as like they're sort of making a little complex of curtains for their worship, that not everybody is supposed to be seeing what's going on in there. Verse 12, the west end of the courtyard shall be 50 cubits, and that's an eye. That is about 75 feet or 23 meters wide, and have curtains with 10 posts and 10 bays. On the east end, towards the sunrise. So they're telling you even what direction to point it in when you're, because remember, it's mobile, they're moving it, and they got to reset it up. So they're telling you what direction to point it in. The courtyard shall be 50 cubits wide. Curtains, 15 cubits wide, 15 cubits long, are to be on one side of the entrance. So then we got a footnote of A, that's about 22.5 feet or 6.9 meters. With 3 posts and 3 bases, and curtains 15 cubits long are to be on the other side, with 3 posts and 3 bases. So, I mean, if you're like, oh, what in the heck? So these are people who are used to doing construction, but used to having some other engineer or some other person telling them what to do. Lift this thing here and go do that. So they can do the labor, but they might not understand until you start telling them the construction. So they know, they just don't know they know. Okay. Because, I work in an industry where, what I get paid for, that's an active back and forth between me and the people in the field. It's not a game of who is, on top, who's, more correct, who's right, who's wrong. One is, here's what we need to get them to say, yes, you can build this thing. And then there's what they're actually constructing out in the field and making sure that it meets the code, right? So construction workers usually have quite a bit, that's a long way of me saying construction workers have quite a bit of knowledge that they can pass on to the other side about how things actually fit together in the first place. So they don't know that they know, because they're used to someone telling them what to do. And that's part of what this is about. So, verse 16. For the entrance to the courtyard, provide a curtain 20 cubits long of blue, purple, and scarlet yarn. So that's going to be about 40 some odd feet. That is about 30 feet, 9 meters. So off 30 feet, 9 meters. Of scarlet, purple and scarlet yarn, finely twisted linen, and the work of an embroiderer, with 4 posts and 4 bays. All the posts around the courtyard are to have silver bands and hooks and bronze bases. The courtyard shall be 100 cubits long and 50 cubits wide. C. That is 150 feet, or about 46 meters long, and about 75 feet, or about 23 meters wide. With curtains of finely twisted linen, 5 cubits high, and then that is about 7.5 feet, or about 2.3 meters, with bronze bases. All the other articles used in the service of the tabernacle, whatever their function, including all the tent pegs for it, and those for the courtyard, are to be of bronze. So specifically stating that metal. Oil for the lampstands. Verse 20. Command the Israelites to bring you clear oil of pressed olives for the light, so that the lamps may be kept burning. In the tent of meeting, outside the curtain that is in front of the testimony, Aaron and his sons are to keep the lamps burning before the Lord from the evening till morning. So they have night shift. This is to be the lasting ordinance amongst the Israelites for generations to come. They are to keep the lamp burning every night for generations to come. So, let's keep that. That's what I can't even begin to think of a better way to end anything. Let's remember, as we go about the world and we interact with anybody and everybody, that the good Lord would really like us to keep the lamps burning every evening for everyone in the world. So go spread that joy.